Hey guys, welcome back. I just wanted to do a real quick video and talk about the new equipment that we've purchased for our shop. So let's start with the milling machine. Now during production of batch number 3, I was working on a few parts and low gear decided to stop working. And from that point on, I was forced to use high gear, which doesn't quite have the torque necessary to mill some of the parts that I need. So I decided to switch the entire machine over to a belt drive. And a belt drive just eliminates the need for any gears inside the head of the machine. I also took this opportunity to change the spindle bearings with upgraded high-speed bearings. In fact, I measured the runout just inside the spindle with a dial indicator, and I found out that my spindle had about 0.002 runout where the R8 taper meets the spindle. So I changed the spindle bearings, and now my spindle has a runout of less than 0.005 of an inch, or 0.0005. So I'd say that's definitely an improvement. One other thing I purchased for the milling machine was a brand new vise. The old vise was worn out and it had a couple of stripped out bolts, so it was time for a new one. Now luckily, Glacern was having a Black Friday sale, and I picked up this 5-inch vise for only $250. I think the regular price is over $500, so that's a pretty good deal. In fact, I think they're still selling them for a little over $300, so if you're looking for a fantastic vise at a great price, you can't go wrong with Glacern. They have some of the best quality tools on the market. Okay, so moving on to the CNC machine. Now, this upgrade had been in the back of my mind for quite a while. I was having some flex problems, so I purchased a rigidity kit from CNCrouterparts.com. This kit comes with 2 new gantry risers, 2 large 80/20 sections, and a long steel brace that attaches to the back of the Y-axis, as you can see in this picture. Now all this adds more rigidity to the machine than what I had previously. I also added these long 1/2-inch thick brackets that fit on top of the bearing blocks that ride on the shafts. I added these because there was some flex happening when the machine moved in certain directions, so these brackets, along with the rigidity kit, really helped to make this machine much more rigid. The more rigid the machine, the less deflection you have when cutting, and that typically means that you can cut deeper and faster as long as you have adequate cooling. And finally, the biggest upgrade we've made to the shop. Now this is a vibratory tumbler. Basically, this machine allows you to vibrate and tumble all kinds of metal material to put a nice finish on it, or deburr the edges, or even polish certain metals to a high gloss. It really depends on the type and size of media you're using, but what we're using it for is to put a nice uniform texture on the outside of all of our parts. It's hard to tell in this picture, but there's a steel shaft that's attached underneath the top section, and the shaft rotates using a large motor. Now the shaft has counterweights that are offset so that the upper section vibrates. The upper section sits on springs, which allows the top section to vibrate, but not the bottom section, although you can still feel it in the floor. It's not as loud as I thought it would be, but it does make some noise. It also has a water pump that keeps the media lubricated, and that helps to clean the metal. When you run metal through this thing, the media will scratch off some of it, and the water and cleaning solution help to keep the parts clean. Now this machine is incredible. I ran this machine for about an hour and a half. I placed about 9 or 10 side plates in at one time, and they came out looking fantastic. Here's a sample of what the metal looks like after it's been tumbled. It leaves a nice texture that reminds me of galvanized aluminum. And this is basically what all the parts will look like after they've had their time in the tumbler. Well guys, I just wanted to give you a quick look at some of the upgrades we've made and to show you what the parts will look like once they were run through the tumbler. Now this is just one part, so I'll be sure to post more pictures of other parts so you can get a better idea of what the pedals might look like once they're assembled. It's definitely a different kind of texture than sandblasting will give you, but I think this is a huge step in the right direction for us. This machine will help tremendously in that it will give me the opportunity to work on other things while the tumbler is running, and that's extremely important in trying to reduce batch times. Well, that's about it. Be sure to let us know what you think. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we will see you next time.